Greetings and salutations.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam. This is the After the Bars podcast. I don't know if we're gonna keep calling it the Mayhem Show. I know, I really there's a soft spot in my heart for the Morning Mayhem Show, and because it was the beginning. But I think we're just gonna stick with the After the Bars podcast. Maybe if we have some exciting stories, I might call it, this morning's Mayhem. I don't know. What we're gonna do. Hold on. It's okay. Sorry about that, guys. The show's growing, and I think I want to, the show to be what the channel is. So I think it's just going to be After the Bars podcast. I think it's explanatory. What we represent here in the community. And I don't know if mayhem really fits the show. So I don't know. It's just something I just now thought of as I was introducing the show. And of course I had to do a little bitty Sam splain about it. But good morning to you. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is Saturday. Hopefully everyone had a safe 4th of July. I know there's a lot of drinking and driving that goes down on the 4th of July, and that's one of my soft spots in my heart, because you guys know my history with my first wife, who was unalived by a drunk driver, and so hopefully everyone had a nice, safe holiday. I know I did. I don't drink. I just don't drink anymore. And neither do most of my friends. So I don't have to worry about them. I have a couple of friends that drink, and they know the deal. Like, if you can't afford an Uber, then you call me, and I will for sure be right there to pick you up. With a quickness, because people change their minds, especially when they're drunk. They're like, oh, I'm not that drunk. Maybe I'm drunk. I don't know if I'm drunk, too drunk to drive, and then they'll just be like, hey, I've already hopped in my car and, and heading home. No, pull over. Let me come grab you, because it's definitely something that one instant decision can destroy your life and really affect the lives of others that just, you just don't know what's going to happen. But anyways, we got a kind of a cool show today. I'm going to be showing you guys a video that Alan Jackson did when the new owners of the Brian Albert house was sold. And as you all know, Brian Albert was the homeowner of the house where John O'Keefe's body was found when they accused Karen Reed of hitting her with her SUV. We just covered that whole saga, I guess you would say, to an extent, especially in the beginning, and then in the end, we kind of didn't cover too much of the trial, but doing recaps here and there. So basically, Alan Jackson, and I don't know all the details of how he made this video, but I was always thinking it, and I'm so glad that that I was on the same page. He wasn't on the same page with me. I was on the same page with him. That, like, now that there's new owners in there, couldn't you go in to the house and investigate a little bit to see where maybe John O'Keefe came into the house? Maybe check the floors for, of possible blood stains that were there previous that might have been cleaned up. I know there are some chemicals you can apply to surfaces to see if blood has ever rested on that surface ever and then cleaned. And I don't know if they did that. They might have and just didn't show it, maybe because there might be some federal investigators involved, and the federal investigators told Alan Jackson, mum's the word. Don't, you can, show that you went in there, but don't, tip our hand to that we might still be investigating. That might be, they are still investigating. It always cracks me up when these legal commentators and these other individuals who are in this industry, or or either creators or mainstream media commentators, and they're like, well, if there would have been something there, the feds would have found it, and the federal investigation is closed. Yeah, as told by Hank Brennan, who's a ex-mafia lawyer turned special prosecutor, who's the sleaziest of the sleaze bag lawyers, but has been put on this pedestal because he's like a special prosecutor for the Karen Reed trial, where he lied, ex parte communication with the judge. He's part of that good old boy network up there, and he is a straight liar. So because he says that the federal investigation is over, it's over. No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot more to the story, and we're going to be right here when it all comes to light, I assure you. And then we're going to talk about the topic after that. We're going to talk about Brian Coberger. Brian Coberger, we're going to cover that trial pretty intensely. Brian Coberger is obviously the gentleman who unalived 4 young, beautiful college students, 3 girls and 1 guy. And we're going to, he took a plea deal. He pled guilty. And what he did when he did that is he robbed the families of not only being able to kind of be there to watch justice be handed out, but they also robbed them of the death penalty being on the table. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what his prison life might be, and most likely will be when he gets to prison. And I'm going to break that down for you guys too. I am Sam, and this is After the Bars. And
Real Fabio?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I almost had the name.
So he's like, yeah, that dude, he didn't testify against somebody on a murder trial. All right. Hey, good morning, Robin Bliss. We're going to go to the chat a little bit. Good morning to you, Robin Bliss. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. Yeah, please, everyone, on your way in, on your way out, in the middle, whenever you feel like it, please try to hit that like button. I'd be greatly appreciate it. So good morning to you, Robin. Shell Dub in the house. Good morning, Rosanna, Dana. Good day to you. Who else is here? Aloise, Dennis Desse, how are you doing? So good to see you. Shannon Trim. I already said hi to Shannon. John Lazon in the house. John Lazon's on vacation. Well, dude, have an amazing vacation. Send me some pictures if you go anywhere fun. But that's super cool. That means you'll be able to participate in the programs a little bit more. Maybe we should do that show we've been talking about. Maybe I won't be able to do it at the shop. I mean, I could, but I just don't have any tattoos lined up because of my thumb. But we could do some kind of show on tattooing. I would love to do that. Maybe we could do that either Sunday night or Monday or something. But I know you're on vacation, so I'll talk to you later. Donna Luna, it's good to see you. So glad you're here. Good morning to you. Debbie Blair, good morning. Glad you are here. Sherry LeBrun in the house. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being a moderator. To all the moderators, thank you so much for your service and helping me handle the chat. I really appreciate it. Where am I at? Where am I at? Debbie Blair, Shell Dub, John Lazon, Love Boston. Hey, Love Boston. Thanks for being here, and I'm assuming you're new to the show, so I'm glad you're here. You're in a safe space, a fun space, and we are you being from Boston, or at least I'm assuming you might live in Boston. Yeah, this is the spot. This is the spot for justice for John O'Keefe, who used to be a Boston police officer. We love law enforcement here as long as they are on the up and up, and they're good people and not corrupt. I guess that's it. I'm already at the bottom. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are all here this morning. Some of you guys might have seen this. It's a video that Alan Jackson made when the new homeowners moved into the house on Fairview, and I think it's pretty awesome that the homeowners let him in to kind of do whatever he wanted to take a look, take some pictures, take some video. Maybe they even had some crime lab people do some tests on some areas. There is a space that looks like blood in the garage, but there's no way they would have left that like that if it was. And rest in peace, John O'Keefe. And I hate mentioning his name without showing him respect, because his name hasn't been completely lost in this situation, but it definitely had taken second chair. Well, he can sit first chair now. And I feel like there's no way that they would have left his blood on the garage floor where it was videotaped. I find it highly impossible that they would have done that, but I mean, I guess you never know. I don't know. It just looks pretty crazy. They might have left it there on purpose, just to, knowing that Alan Jackson probably would have done something like this, and let them, think that this is a big find or something. Who knows, man? Who knows? When you're dealing with sociopaths, you just never know how they think or what they would do to F with somebody. So I don't know. It's just pretty nuts. But let's take a look at that video real quick, and then we'll talk about it. I might stop it at some point. I've watched it briefly because I really like to react to it with you guys at the same time. It's I think it's funner that way. I mean, nothing more to be said. I just think it's funner that way. I was trying to think of something like pseudo intellectual to say, about presenting the content that way, but no, it's just funner. It's mo fun. All right, let's check it out.
And once you get done with that, inside that room is some flooring, correct?
Yep.
Or is it? Let me look.
So in the basement.
No, there's no flooring. All right, so basically every single part of this part of the basement, of this part of the house, the flooring's been taken up. I mean, all of this, it's just hodgepodge, right? It just looks like it was thrown down. So the actual floor was ripped up, and this is just a hodgepodge of plywood. All the way through here.
Yep.
Yeah, the entire floor was ripped out. And then this goes into a
pretty big
area.
basement.
It looked like this area did not have flooring in it to begin with, but all this is looks to be relatively recent plywood.
It's so funny. They didn't even really finish the floor.
To actually get this?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just ripped the flooring up and laid down some plywood. If I was selling a house and I was gonna do a remodel, you would take up the old flooring and put in a whole new floor, something that would look really nice. But they didn't. They just kind of ripped up the old flooring, laid down some plywood, and sold the house that way as is. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It almost points to more guilt. I mean, think about that for a second. let's just say they're not guilty and they're selling the house, then they were gonna, like, hey, we should tear up this old flooring. The only reason to tear up the old flooring is to put in a new floor, not to tear it up, get rid of it, or whatever it is, carpet, hardwood, vinyl, linoleum, whatever it is, get rid of it and then install a new floor, not tear it up, get rid of it, and then just put something else down real quick, like you were in the middle of construction. I think it points to more deceit. I really do. Hey, good morning, Wyoming native. Christy for Cats Noon. Good morning to you guys, to you both.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't talk this morning. Let's watch that. Oh, here we go. Here's the part we're in the garage. Now, that's that space where I'm pointing with my mouse. It's red in nature. It's almost the same color as dry blood, not even like a red, more of like a wine, like a burgundy dried blood type look. There's just no way that they would have left that like that if it was really blood. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a ruse. They're like playing like maybe a joke on Ellen Jackson or whoever. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I'm sure the person who bought the house toured the house before they bought it. Or maybe Alan Jackson bought it or had, cause I really don't know. Maybe, no, there's no way. I was thinking like maybe he had a friend buy it, in someone else's name so they could investigate it. I mean, the house probably went for like probably $500,000. I'm not sure. I don't know that. I should have researched that. But when you're talking millions of dollars, donations and money and movie rights and all the things that are coming, books, buying that house would be nothing to do. And if they truly believe Karen Reed was innocent, why not? Why not buy the house? But I don't know. That's just a thought.
Maybe not. The point is, it's never been sampled.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
say John's head. I mean, that really looks, and sorry to be a little grotesque, but I mean, if you were to get in a fight and someone would have fell backwards and hit their head, I mean, that's exactly what it would look like. Right? I mean, it would look just like that. So I just think it's a little bizarre that that's there like that. I'm sure they'll test it. I'm sure they will.
No. Okay, will that door open? Mm-hmm. Paul, come take a look at this. This is a bulkhead door. Look at that.
Yeah.
Directly into the backyard. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Get an establishing shot from over there. And I'll get out of the picture.
Okay. This guy's been using a while.
Okay. I don't think we need to go up and pull the bolt.
Were you guys able to hear me when I was talking just a second ago? Yeah, it's from 2023. It's a pretty old video actually, but they weren't able to play it until after the trial, if I'm correct. So, okay, good. Thanks, Debbie Blair. I really appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, he lost way more blood than that. That's actually barely any blood. So I don't know. There's just no way it could be.
Yeah,
this part is a little interesting.
You gotta get the right way. Okay.
Let's say John was unalived down in the basement or in the garage. The first thing they would have done would have been to take him to the basement. That's the very first thing they would have done. If it didn't happen in the basement, they would have taken him to the basement. So I think this next part is very, very interesting because, well, you guys will see if you haven't seen it already.
Okay. One finger. I mean, there's nothing to open this. Wow. And look at that. There's the door. Yep. Directly to the basement. This is. I'm gonna pace it off. Let's say we come up from here.
Okay.
This is the door that we opened earlier. Right here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 paces. And look where it goes.
It's a straight shot.
You open this door?
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
The only thing
Right there.
I'm thinking about how deep was the snow. Then again, it was
It was a
fluffy.
dusting.
Yeah.
It was a dusting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what, 6 inches? This door opens on 6 inches of
Plus,
snow.
they're pretty motivated. They're pretty strong. They're pretty slick.
And look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. "24 paces."
Yeah. I like the theory.
And look at the cover.
Yeah.
Look at the cover. The only time you're exposed is the last 10 feet.
You know, it's like you said, if everybody's able to party, nobody sees them.
It's because he wasn't out there yet.
Yeah.
He wasn't out there yet. Straight shot. I have no idea. Straight shot right from the basement, the back of this door, right there.
You guys hear him? Said straight shot. Straight shot. So they could have straight shot. They could have taken him up those stairs.
What was on that cement?
They could have taken him up the stairs.
Yeah.
Right out to that flagpole without
like
being
the
seen
theory.
by anybody. No cameras, no anything.
Look at the cover. The only time
I mean, you guys already know what I think. It's and I know a lot of you guys feel the same way. It's absolutely what happened. It's absolutely what happened. We don't even have to guess or conject. You know what I mean? There's just it's what happened. And I just hope and pray that the feds truly are investigating it. There's just no way that they wouldn't. There's no way that they wouldn't. And an agent would really make a name for himself, or even a SAC, a special agent in charge, you know, the one that heads up the different field offices out there. They would really make a name for themselves, and they would truly bring justice to a fallen peace officer from Boston, and they would lock up some pathological lying law enforcement officers that are absolutely no good. And then they tried to send an innocent woman to jail, to prison, not to jail, for a long time. Yeah, I think the case is being built. I think the feds have all this information and more. I really can't wait. There, you know, of course, there's some documentaries being made, movies being made. I guess in the movie that's being made, they're going to show a lot of evidence and information that they weren't allowed to show at trial. Some stuff that the feds do have, and that's really going to be exciting to see that movie when it gets complete. I can't remember the name of the production company. But I'm definitely going to call around to some friends in Hollywood and see if we can get some more information on that. I still have some pretty awesome connections in LA from when I worked in the industry. So yeah, we're gonna start finding out more and more about what's going on with that movie. And that'll be exciting. Let's go to the chat for a second. See, sorry, I wasn't watching the chat while I was doing the story. You know me, I ADHD, I guess. When I try to do both, I can't be succinct. But it's a pretty chill day, isn't it, guys? Donald Luna says, I'm a prayer. I'm sorry, I'm just reading stuff. Will do, Christopher Katz. I'm a prayer. Me too. A prayer. Also, my sister had cancer and she beat it. Have a positive thoughts and keep pushing through, pressing through. Prayer is amazing. Oh, yeah. Dude, I didn't even think of that. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I bet you they did. Because, I mean, there's no way they would have just done that. But I don't know why they would bring attention to the space, to the spot, but that would be a perfect cover up. You know, you say, let's just say you clean it really good, but you're still worried about those chemicals of possibly being able to detect something. What would you do? You would throw paint over it. And look, they used red paint, but that's, you know, nor here nor there. But what else could be being painted red there? There's nothing red on that house at all. There's no red rooms, you know, that I know of. You know, what reason would there be to have red paint there? There's nothing red, you know. So yeah. Wow, that's super smart, Chrissy. Yeah, I did not even think of that. Oh, that is amazing. Chrissy for Cats News says, my neighbor has cancer, and today we are throwing her a love party with a local band and fireworks today. Please say prayers for Lisa to help her on her cancer journey. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll put her on my prayer list. Yeah, a love party. I love that. I do. That's so cool. We didn't see one firework yesterday. Like I said, the girls. Oh, Turtle Boy's talking with Alan Jackson today. That's awesome. Alan hasn't done hardly any interviews. Of course, Yannetti and Alessi have done a few interviews. But yeah, that's great. I'll have to look to see what time that is. Maybe if I'm not doing anything, we can watch that together, guys. And that would be great. That would be great. I did have a great Fourth. Thank you so much, Wyoming native. We went to go to a thing at a park, and it was dead, and there was nothing there for Hazley. We thought there was going to be like bouncy houses and face paint and things like that, but there was nothing. Just a bunch of food trucks, you know, selling halfway decent food, not even good food really. So we didn't even get out of the car. We looked at it, and we knew all the food trucks. Donna Luna says she is not familiar with this case. It's a pretty good case. You could check out my videos, or there's a million videos out there about the Karen Reed case. I've done a few cases that are kind of like recaps and the verdict, and there's a lot of conspiracy, true conspiracies though, not like tinfoil hat. You know, there's no way that's even possible conspiracies. This is what happened. A Boston cop was got in a fight. The proof is that an ATF agent / friend, supposedly friend, was trying to fight him at a bar. They were drinking because of the guy's girlfriend, the guy who is no longer with us, his girlfriend, because they had like a little texting tryst. They were all going to a police officer's house for an after party. And that's where that's where what we know has ended. But there's a lot that we know now through evidence and through a cover-up, that they tried to blame the girlfriend for the death, and when truly it was the jealous ATF agent, cop / friend, supposedly. Anyways, that wasn't a very good description in it, but that's basically what happened. Thank you, Rosanna Dana. Hey, look, Rosanna Dana. Hey, there she is. There she is. I love her so much. It's funny. I just had to do it. I just had to do it. Hey, Danette, good morning to you. Danette, this will be the roundabout time I'll be doing the shows in the morning. The girls are home today, so I did it a little bit later. But yeah. Oh man, I cannot wait to see Yes, absolutely. Say prayers for Kerr County in Texas. It's horrific. Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what's going on there. I do not know what's going on there, but we'll take a look-see. Tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, so about 7 o'clock my time. Yes, I will definitely be there to watch that with you guys. So yeah, expect that. I would love to watch it with you guys. We can have a watch party. Hey, Grateful, good to see you. I feel like it's been forever. Happy Saturday, Christopher Katznoon. This is so wonderful. Sam, this is wild. I missed the beginning of this, so we'll have to watch it over. Is the red on the floor just paint? Yeah, it's definitely just paint. I don't see how they would have left blood there. But Christopher Katznoon says probably to cover up what was there, because no matter how hard you clean, I think they have a chemical that will that can show that there was blood there. I don't think they would be able to do a DNA, but they don't know, so why not cover it with paint? There's nothing else you could cover it with. And this is why I think Chrissy's theory is so spot on, is that there's absolutely nothing you could do there. You couldn't put a new flooring there. You couldn't put new concrete there unless you chopped it out. Broke it all out and then patched it, but it's on a corner. There's nothing you could do there except for put paint over it. But I bet you there's some kind of technology that really could still, but I guess that remains to be seen, because I assure you they definitely tested it. They definitely tested that paint, dug in deep into the concrete so they could test, because concrete is porous. It's not a smooth, solid surface. It's definitely porous. So maybe, I don't know. Wouldn't that be amazing if they could do that? Oh man, that would be crazy amazing. And I hate to say this, because I do feel for Peg O'Keefe. I really do. But she is such a hateful, spiteful person, and she's directing all that energy into the wrong space. And I really feel for her. I really do. It sucks, and I don't not like her or have compassion for her. I love her, just as one of God's children. But it really upsets me when people get so blinded that they can't see the evidence in front of them. Same thing with the brother. And I'm going to do a breakdown on the John O'Keefe's brother's interview he did. And I'm going to show you like where that concrete thinking started, and where like he has these absolute black and white ideas of how Karen Reed should have acted in that situation, because Karen Reed didn't act the way they think she should have acted that morning, that she's automatically guilty, and they can't change her mind on that. They can't change their mind, the family of John O'Keefe, and it sucks. And I pray for that. I pray that they find some, I guess, discernment. You know, I don't know. But really good to see you, Grateful. Jen Marie is in the house. Jen would love to do a show with you. Good to see you, Jen. Hopefully you had a I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Sorry guys, there's ads. Let me go take those off real quick. I hate this when this happens, man. I don't know why I don't think of it. I tried to set the setting permanently, and guys, I have some recent videos that are really doing great, and I want to thank you guys for being a part of that. I've gotten like, I don't know, 300 or 400 new subscribers in the past few days, and I just thank you for liking the content and really helping me change the algorithm to get the show out there to more people. Some people are finding the show something they want to subscribe to, and man, it's so awesome. I hadn't lost hope, but you know, you get discouraged sometimes, and I am super on fire for keeping the show running, and I was getting discouraged. I'm not gonna lie, I really was, and you guys probably seen that a little bit when I was just trying so many new things and trying to, you know, and but what I'm finding is just you know, keeping it authentic, and having an awesome moderators, and an awesome community, in that we're all respectful, and we don't allow any homophobia or racism in, and we don't care about, you know, people's religious views or ideas. Yeah, I just think it's awesome. Okay, I turned off the ads, guys. Thanks, Johnny boy. Thank you, Grateful, for the gifted memberships. Guys, if you received a gifted membership from Grateful 1111, could you please just thank her? And I know you guys automatically will, but I just really appreciate that. It's been a while since we've gotten any gifted memberships. We got some the other day, but I mean, we used to get them all the time, and I guess it doesn't really matter because I don't have like special content yet. I know I've been working on that for 5 months, but I do appreciate it, the support for the channel. It's flooding like Asheville, North Carolina did in 54 missing, mainly children. What the hell? Yeah. I'll look into that. And maybe when we do the watch party tonight, I will we'll talk about that a little bit, because that's heavy. That's super heavy. Gravel says that concrete would still be discolored, wouldn't it? Maybe they'll jackhammer that concrete out. No, they could wash that concrete pretty good. I mean, you could really scrub it, wire brush, get in the pores, if they were really trying to cover something up. But they, let's just say that is where the event happened. They would probably still be worried that they could, so they would just throw paint on it. But I don't know why they would just splatter red paint like that, bringing attention to this to the area. I would have jackhammered it out, you know, for the cover up. But I'm sure it's being tested. Who knows, man? You know, and maybe it's absolutely nothing at all, and it's just something that, you know, we're thinking is weird, and their thing is, I don't know. Maybe that's been there for years. You know, we just don't know. But I bet you someday we find out. Yeah, this Susan says you will gain a lot of substance talking Karen Reed, John O'Keefe, Sandra Birchmore, Enrique Delgado Garcia, Justin Rue. These are all connected. Yeah, one of the videos that did really good is the video, and now I'm going to do an expose. I know that sounds grandiose, but I am going to do a bigger show since that video did so well, of me talking about Hank Brennan and his history with representing mobsters that are guilty of heinous crimes, and how he defended them. And look, well, we all deserve a defense. I'm not saying that he did anything by defending them, but to defend them not only the way he did, of claiming some innocence, instead of just trying to get him the best deal. But I mean, I know we deserve that, but a lot of lawyers won't take on guys like Whitey Bulger, and it takes a special kind of lawyer to take on those kind of cases. They're a little shisty. I'm not going to say they're all liars, but I think in Hank Brennan's case, because the way we've seen him operate, that it's obvious he will lie, he will try to manipulate, and he'll do all the things that aren't, that don't represent the bar in the way it deserves. So I do want to do a deeper story on that. And then of course, the Diddy stuff. You know, I had a Diddy video do really well where I talked about the superseding indictment. It's doing really good, but yep. Watch party tonight for sure. Absolutely, Robin. Yeah, you just never know with this case at all. And you know, now, you know, I truly believe that a lot of people are going to stop talking about it. Not us. We're not going to stop talking about it. And it's not all directly because of the subs that I will gain, like this Susan just said, but it's that, but also because we can't let this topic die, because John doesn't have justice yet. And I get it. There's a lot of people that haven't received justice, but when we bring attention and light to these cases that have some notoriety, it just kind of paves the way for other cases to be looked at, and to, you know what I mean? It's the way to begin to repair the parts of our justice system that are broken, and the parts that are that need to be changed, enhanced, you know, I don't know, improved on a little bit. I don't know, but it's bigger than us, right? This story is way bigger than us, and I just want to be a part of that, just because of my history with the justice system, and I respect that justice system. I really do. It never had done me wrong, per se. I mean, there was one federal agent that did lie at a hearing, one of my hearings, and they didn't fire him, but they sent him back to Quantico for retraining. They called it retraining. Even though he was actually a DEA agent, but they sent him to Quantico to be retrained. That's why I said FBI, because I knew where they sent him. but yeah, he flat out lied on under oath about my case, and we had proof. We had proof that he was lying, and it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling. Got you, you liar. Anyway, yeah, it was nuts. So we're gonna change gears a little bit and talk about Brian Coberger. I know a lot of you guys are familiar with that case. Where's the show at? AJ is Karen's lawyer. Oh, you guys are just talking about. I know you guys are familiar with the case. He's the Idaho College mass murderer, I guess. He took. I say mass murderer because I guess one of you guys figured out it was 3 or more or something like that. Like I think 5 or more is serial kill. I don't know, but so he took a plea deal, and there's a lot of the family members are upset, and I am going to do a show about that. I misspoke the other day when I said the family was on board, because usually they consult the family members before they take a deal, the victim's family members, before they give any kind of deal to the defendant. And in this case they did not, or they did, but I guess they lied. And some of the headlines that I'm seeing for some of the victims' family members, that they're saying we were used, that the prosecution used them. So I want to talk about it, but I just don't know enough about it. But I did misspeak, and I did kind of say like I didn't know for absolute sure, but that maybe they talked to one family and that family gave the okay to take the deal. But a lot of those family members don't think justice has been served on this case either. It's kind of like like the Epstein deal when he got those deals for SA down in Florida, where he got a slap on the wrist and home arrest for, a short time. Justice wasn't served there. But he's alive somewhere on a new island in protective custody somewhere. He just has to be. He'll be going to prison really soon. He's up for sentencing. I don't know. I think in a month, and he'll be going to prison real soon. And I do have some friends that are still in federal prison, and the white boys are talking a lot about this guy, and they about like recruiting. And I know this is disgusting, but about recruiting him into their organizations, and I have a theory on why they would do that, because you would think, I would think that a guy like that should get smashed as soon as he gets there. You took away these 3 young ladies' lives and 1 young man, for no reason. It wasn't self-defense. It wasn't, it wasn't even like a drug deal gone bad. It was strictly just to do it. And because of that uncertainty, that unpredictability, I think is one of the reasons why those white disgusting prison gangs will try to recruit him and pull him under his wing. I know it's hard for a lot of people to understand, but I'm going to try to explain it a little bit. And so let's get into that topic.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel to grow bigger and better and more diverse. Not that weird, creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. If you want to hear some Samsplaining, just like the video down below.
So Brian Coberger pled guilty to 4 first-degree murders last week, and they're going to do like a pre-sentence investigation on him, and they're going to send him to this place, the Idaho State Correctional Center. Idaho State Correctional Center is not as vicious as some high security prisons in the federal system, or like a level 3 or 4 in California. But there's no prison that is completely safe or a fun place to be. In the Idaho state system, there's a white supremacist gang called the Aryan Knights, and the Aryan Knights they have a little bit of presence in the federal system, because white guys do go to federal prison from Idaho, and there are some gang members from the Idaho federal system, and they have a little bit of presence in the feds. They're not active too much. They usually run with the Texas gangs. That's a weird thing that happens in the feds. Like certain states will run together for reasons I don't know. It just probably happened. Two guys were probably cellies one time, and they joined their two gangs to be a bigger gang inside the feds. Well, the Aryan Knights do run with they run with one Utah gang, and then they run with some Texas white supremacist gangs, and mind you, they're not skinheads. They're just like white power type gangs, and there's a difference. Skinheads don't like Jewish propaganda, and there's so much more that to being a skinhead than just being a white pride or a white power gang. And the one in Idaho is Aryan Knights. So these guys are expecting him. I'm trying to get my notes here. I wanted to kind of like say like what'll happen. So he'll get to the prison, and then they'll do a medical workup on him. They'll do a physical, they'll do a psych evaluation, and this is where he's gonna first get a first taste of the prison. They're gonna isolate him for a little bit. They're gonna want to know where he's gonna fit into the prison. They're already the guys that run the prison, like the captains and their little investigation team. They're already out there talking to the gangs, saying, hey, is this guy going to have a problem when he gets here? Do we need to put him in PC? And everyone's going to be like, nope, just let him come in. And this is where it's going to get weird, like finding a cellmate for this guy, right? Like, who would want to be this guy's cellie? Like there's different situations. It's not just because he's in there for murder. There's lots of guys that are in for murder, and I've had cellies that have been murderers and bank robbers and all the things, right? But it's not the reason why you wouldn't want to be his cellie per se is because like I said before, his crime, it wasn't a crime of passion. It wasn't because money was owed or road rage. There was no like real true reason that's obvious for all of us to know why he committed those crimes. So he's kind of he's too unpredictable. He's like a loose cannon, and I wouldn't want to sleep with one eye open. I would never take a cellie like that. So there's nobody wants to be live in a cell with an unpredictable killer that's a thrill killer. Do you know what I mean? Like he Coberger kills for the thrill of it, not because of any other reason. And when you're doing a ton of time, you want peace. You're trying to you want your cell to be like your sanctuary. away from the yard and all the things that go on there. And the reason why I think that he'll be recruited by the Aryan Knights is because he's already proved. First of all, they'll want to keep him under their thumb, meaning that they'll feel like they could control him. It's he'll feel a part of something, so they'll feel safe because they're his family, his prison family, his brothers, and they'll want him because they'll know that he will stab people, and that's just the truth of it. That's just the reality of prison life, is that a lot of people won't. They call it pushing iron. A lot of people won't push that iron. They won't. They don't have the either the stupidity or the balls to actually do it. And Brian Kohlberg has already proven to be that guy, so they're going to want him to be a part of it. And so, yeah, he'll be like a utility for the gang, and having Brian Kohlberger on their side, they can use that as leverage with the other gangs and the prison population, because people already know that he's crazy enough to do that. And so they'll like convert that aura into leverage. I've seen it a thousand times, and it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be like the biggest, toughest guy, that's all jacked up on steroids and muscles. And because there's plenty of those dudes in there that are enforcers, for prison gangs, not like a Tommy Scoville type, enforcer, but like a real true blue, like prison enforcer. And so they'll want to use that. And they know that that he will attack rather than be attacked. And that's really important in like a riot situation on the prison yard. You're going to want someone that's not going to run, and that will attack back, and I believe, and I'm sure they already believe that he is one of those guys that will do that. And I know this isn't anything that like we would participate. It's nothing I would even participate in, even if I went back, having being saved, that my desires are changed, from being that guy. But it's just the truth of the matter. And I know it sucks. We don't like it. We just want him to be beat up and have a miserable time in there. And he will, even being with those guys and, living day-to-day life, playing softball or basketball, or whatever his punk ass likes to do, he still will have a miserable existence, but he won't be the miserable existence that we feel like he all deserves. Yeah, a lot of high profile people that have shitty crimes, or that get in there, that are extorted, for their money, like Diddy's is going to be to an extent, will be like, he'll be like extorted, like, yo, bro, like, don't worry, we'll protect you. But a lot of people are extorted, like, that money needs to be on my books by 5 o'clock tonight, or else you're going to get effed up. He doesn't really have a risk of that because he's too valuable to them. And he doesn't have any money, Brian Kohlberger, that I know of. I don't think his family is loaded or anything. It's going to be sending him a lot of money, or that would send him money. So that risk is pretty low. I think the only thing we really do have to look forward to is that he's most likely going to get recruited. He's going to be, one of the bros, in the gang, but he's going to want to, because he thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And he is a smart guy. Look, he was in a PhD program. And it takes a little bit of intelligence to get into those PhD programs. He's going to feel like he's smarter than everyone else. And so he's going to want to be in control. And to be in control, he's really going to have to put in that work, meaning he's going to have to push steel, to stab somebody, to grow his name, to take to be in charge of those, to take control of those, of that prison gang. And most likely when he's that involved and going to do that, he's going to end up one of those other lames, because they're going to tell him like, no, you go stab him, because we have an out date, we're going to be out someday. So they're going to make him do a lot of the dirty work, because he's already going to be not doing life and not getting out. So maybe he'll go in there and get another case for one of the many stabbings that's in his future, where he will get the death penalty. I know in the prison here in the state that I reside in now, in Montana state, if you kill someone in prison, it's almost automatic death penalty. So hopefully that it will be some solace for the family members of the victims. Hopefully that'll happen. I'm no dummy when it comes to prison politics and what guys' futures are. Of course, I can't predict the future, but that's a pretty good likely path that he will have when he gets there. I'm just looking at my little notes that I made. I changed my thinking on it, so I don't need to talk about it. The last point I had was will he outlive I guess will Father Time get him before another inmate? Yeah, most likely. He wasn't a Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer had so many things going against him that he just wasn't liked in prison. He just was the worst of the worst, right? With Brian Koberger, he's gonna let Father Time take him out. That's what'll happen. He most likely will be in isolation. He'll probably get put in some kind of higher security where it's 23-hour lockdown at some point, because the white boys and the white gangs are going to use him until he can't be used no more. And then when he's off the threat, he won't be that unpredictable threat no more. When he's off the yard, he won't be that unpredictable threat anymore. But they're going to use that willingness to thrill kill. They definitely will. I don't know. What do you guys think? Hey, Misha, it's good to see you. Question: how did the Diddy trials already get to the point of judgment? It normally takes entirely too long. Is it high priority or no? I think it does usually take a lot longer. They didn't show a lot of the witnesses that the prosecution did. They felt they had an intact case, and they didn't run through all their witnesses. That's one thing. The second thing is that the Diddy didn't want to wait. He was trying to get out, so he didn't want to let his lawyers build the perfect airtight case. I think that's why we didn't see the defense put on a case. That's one of the other reasons, another reason than the reasons I spoke of the other day, Misha. He wanted to be out. He just hates it in there. I mean, and I'm perfectly fine with just knowing that he hates it so much in there. He actually cried when he was denied bail the other day. I just found out, like on his knees, was crying in the chair. That makes me happy. It does. It makes me happy. Hey, Grateful. Question, Sam, after all you've been through, what are your thoughts harsher punishment situations. I'm against it. I'm against it. If we're talking about the death penalty specifically, I'm against it. Or I guess, I mean, so many people have been let off death row, right? More than we know. There's so many situations that don't even make it to the limelight, to the mainstream media, or just not national media. There'll be local coverage on it. I bet you if I put into Chat GPT right now, it would list me out 40 or 50 names of people that have been, well, I guess maybe not off death row, but there'd be at least 25 to 30 names off death row. And that's pretty scary, right? But I think a lot of those situations are because of DNA, right? And so I guess, well, let me change my thought for a second. I guess if like there's DNA specifically tying him to the victim, him meaning, Joe Blow murderer, specifically tying them to the crime, then I guess, yeah, the death penalty is, I'm on board with it, because an eye for an eye, right? An eye for an eye. So in that instance, I'm all about it. My favorite punishment is prison punishment. Like when those guys get there and their lives are being made miserable, and they might get, beat up, here and there. Of course, I have to check myself on that thinking, because, only God can judge that person, and we are called to forgive. That's how we get closer to that light. That's how we get our spark back to that light, is the way we forgive people and the way that we love people. So I do have to check myself sometimes on that thinking. Man, why do I only have one bar? It's always when I go live that I have a shitty connection, and it just blows me away. All day, every day, I just have great internet. It's super fast. As soon as I go live, it's shitty. It's the feds. Just kidding. But yeah, I guess that's how I feel. Oh, see, I like that. I like that awakened. I would like to think time gives a chance for someone to rethink clearly and reconsider their crimes, a chance for redemption, in the sense there's no punishment that'll change or bring back who we lose. Yeah, if we're thinking like, that's almost perfect, because and here comes, my Christian views, is that we're called to save souls, to be a part of the harvest, right? We're supposed to be, as children of God and believers in Christ, we're called to be harvesters. And so part of that harvest would be to give someone time to for a chance for redemption, So, I was given that chance. Millions of other people before me were given that chance. But, our crimes didn't warrant that death sentence. So, but yeah, I do like that line of thinking for sure. I'm so glad you're with us this morning, Misha. Danette says, which trial do we watch next? Well, I have no clue. I was really looking forward to the Coberger trial. there is some weird trial going on. Hopefully we're watching the Hank Brennan trial soon someday. I guess he does have qualified immunity, so that's a dumb statement. He can't really. I mean, there are ways where he can be brought up on charges for the cover up, but really the Brian Higgins trial, that's the one I'm looking forward to. What's going on with our boy? I can't believe I can't remember his name right now. And I covered his case on my other channel. The Southern dude, the big dude, remember his the law clerk wrote a book and now she's going to jail. No, not Diddy. Dude, I just edited a video about him for my other channel. Like yesterday, I edited a video for this dude on my other channel, and I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, white dude. Yeah, Becky was the clerk. What's the dude's name again? Robin Bliss is going to come in with it right now. Watch. Not Wade Wilson. Murdoch. Thank you, Murdoch. Thank you, Cat K. Yep. Everyone came in with it there. Look at everyone. Thank you so much. Yeah, the Murdoch trial, the retrial. I know it was denied, but I think the Supreme Court is going to let him have a retrial. Look, we all know he's guilty, but legally his jury was tainted. And I know that juror was she proven that she lied? I can't remember. That the juror lied about it affecting her judgment because Becky said, well, he's guilty. We know he's guilty or something like that. I can't remember. Does Wade Wilson have a trial coming up? That might be something to be fun to cover. I know there's a lot of phone calls out there. If you guys would be interested in listening to those phone calls with me, I haven't listened to them. A lot of his jail phone calls, we could listen to those phone calls. I know Jumpsuit Pablo did already. But I wouldn't mind listening to them. I haven't heard them. Oh yeah, Indigo Twin. You're absolutely right, and that's where I struggle with it. Right. What about the 2% that have recommitted with intention, especially SA against children? Those victims could have been spared with the DP. Yeah, I really, it's really hard, right? Because we can't tell the future, but we do have statistics, and statistics will show, and that's why you have percentages, right? They will show that, like, even if one person can get saved from this criminal, then it's best to just either keep him locked up or just take him out. And most of those guys live to be except for in Texas, live a pretty long life with their appeals. They still get another 10 years, because of all their appeal options and all their appeal rights that they have. Yeah. Grateful. You're so funny. Yeah, the Deadpool killer. Yep. Wade Wilson. I forgot that they called him that, the Deadpool killer. Yeah, we could cover that. That might be fun. He's really a whack job. You know, he was in and out and then got out and went on this weird crime spree. I don't know enough to talk about it, but yeah, that could be pretty good. But we definitely need to find something to watch, or else we're just going to be floundering. I was really looking forward to the Coberger trial. It was going to be the first trial that I was able to follow from start to finish. You know, I didn't follow Diddy because I didn't want to just read, you know, because there's no cameras. But and it's hard for me to give my expert legal commentary that way. I love to react, and just I don't want time to think about my commentary. I just want to go with what my initial gut feeling is usually the correct one. Sam, check out the Barry Morphew case. He allegedly murdered his wife, shot her with a trank gun. He's been arrested a second time, extradited him back to City of Colorado. Yeah, I'll check that out. I wonder if there's cameras. Oh yeah, shoot, I forgot to show. These are the Aryan Night guys. I always do that. I have media that I just forget to show because I just start talking, and that's what those Aryan White lames look like. They're lames. They're lames. When those when those guys come onto the yard in the feds, when they look like old boy here on the left with the tattoos like that, I just ignore them. They don't get to sit at my table. Only the cool kids get to sit at my table. And yeah, I didn't have any friends that looked like these fools at all. Not that, you know, my friends were deserved more rights or anything. I don't know. I was gonna say not that they're any better, but they were better. Like me and my bros were a lot better. We I don't know. I would love to interview some of those guys for the show. That would be really cool. But my friends, but you know, they're all still in. Aryan Knights, like KNIHGT. Skyhopper. Yeah, Aryan Knights. Yeah, they're lames. They're lames. There's another gang that's kind of like them out of Utah called SAC, SAC, and there's some men that are in there. I don't want to say they're good dudes, but there's some men that are in that gang. But these fools that look like these guys, they're not men. They're just lames. But it's all fake, you know. You guys have heard my stuff. It's all fake in the grand scheme of life, you know. So I don't know. T16 Media, Aryan Knights. Def uses a machine to hear and put in text. Oh, Def uses a machine to hear and put in text. Oh, that's dope. That's dope. Welcome to the show, Skyhopper. I don't think I've ever seen you, so thank you. If you were lurking before, welcome to the chat. If you're new to the show, welcome to the show. It's so dope to have you. Usually I have a little more energy than I do today. I was up late last night, so if I missed anybody's question, because I don't have anyone be able to start my questions, could you just like copy and paste the question again, so I don't miss it? I don't want to miss any of your guys's awesome, always insightful questions and comments. Thank you, Skyper. I appreciate that. I do my best. Rooney, I do my best. Very well said, Awaken. Different kinds of masks in different fields of life. That's right. That's right. As I was surfing the YouTubes, as some might call it, the other day or last night, I was I stopped and seen you on Lindsay's channel. I just for a second, I just clicked on it and then your comment was up. So I read your comments and then I went back and just kind of followed your portion of the conversation real quick. And I just loved everything you said. I really did. I didn't want to comment for personal reasons, but yeah, I just loved everything you said. Hey, Darcy's. We're going to win this race. Lemonade, nice, cool, refreshing drink. Was there something else? Did Rosanna Dana see my picture? I don't know if she's seen it. I think I missed it. So yeah, is there any recovery milestones? Does anybody have anything that they want to share or talk about real quick? Hopefully you guys can hear me, man, or like I'm not like too jittery. I just keep looking at the my connection is unstable for some reason, and it doesn't just never make sense to me. It never makes sense. Yeah, I know you are. And that's why I'm so glad you are my friend. I truly know you are. Look, guys, because my camera kept going out yesterday, and for some reason I have a backup camera, my old camera, sitting right on top of it just in case. And of course, today it's working fine. Oh, okay. Thanks, Danette. Let's see what else is going on. Today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. I'm gonna look to find something for us to follow, something that's good, or at least something that I have some knowledge on and can talk about. There's a bunch of stuff that goes on that I like, that I watch. Oh, Carmelo Anthony. We're definitely going to be following that very, very, very closely. God, I knew there was something. Yeah, I almost was going to put a part of that in today's show. There's some Carmelo Anthony stuff. I even had put together a little clip. But I'm not going to do it today. Well, here is my little. And Misha, you'll appreciate this one. It's my symbol for forgiveness. If those two can forgive each other, then, we can all forgive. I don't know why I made that. It just came to me to make. But yeah, I'm going to, that's such a sad story, man. It's sad for both of those kids. And that kid is really responding poorly. Carmelo is. And I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't want to get in a big long rant about this. I don't understand how someone who's in the wrong, and I'm meaning his family too, how someone who's in the wrong, and look, we haven't heard from him. He might be, his parents are in control of all of the responses from that side of this story, right? And they are responding so effing poorly. And now there's evidence that they've participated in making fake live streams that have Austin Metcalf's someone impersonating his dad using the N-word. I talked about that yesterday a little bit. Like, what the F? Dude. So yeah, so expect me. I'm going to be covering that story probably once a day. I'm going to have a segment on Carmelo Anthony in the show. So there will be a Carmelo Anthony thing. His trial will be coming up probably pretty fast. This year. I don't think 2026. I think this year. I watched a Lori Vallow interview yesterday that was disgusting. She is truly crazy. Lori Vallow is truly crazy. In a fanatic religious way that is that gives and I don't know if she's a true Christian or not, but I just know that she is crazy. She's got some big mental health issues. She blames her daughter that she unalived with for so much, and she's still in love with that dude Chad, the author, motivational speaker guy. She's still in love with that dude, and it's just so bizarre. And he's like the sweetest, loving guy. Oh my God, you unalived your children for that dude and your ex-husband. It's just that is such an ugly case. I know we covered it like one time, and we all just felt really ugly. Hey Ben, how's it going? We all just felt so ugly. Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, a wackadoo. Lori Dable's a grandeur histrionic narcissist. Yeah, she is probably the poster girl for that. 1000%, man. 1000%. So I don't know, man. I mean, there's nothing to cover there but her being found guilty. There's no like with Karen Reed, there's good lawyering and there was strategies and all the things. I am not ignoring you, Jeanette. You lost your mind. If I can't ignore something I don't see. So let me back up to where I've ignored you. Okay. I've already suggested something. Oh, that you suggested something in an email? Let me go back. Let me know if you suggested something in an email. Danette. Because now I'm going backwards to your comments just to see. I just want everyone to know, if I see a message from you, I would never be like, oh, no, not that one. No, not that one. If it's something like anything, if it's like towards me, and if it's an email, I've already explained my email anxiety. That I do and will get to them. But I'm sorry, Danette, I don't see it. Could you suggest or just send whatever I'm ignoring you? Unless it's an email. If it's an email, I'll get to it today. I responded to 64 emails yesterday, and I still have probably 120 emails left to respond to. I responded to 60 yesterday. I still have like 120 left. A lot of the emails I responded to are people that no longer subscribe, but I wanted to do it just, Lewis trials are over. Is that? You'll have to resend it, Danette. Okay. If it's a text, if it's a chat, send it. Okay. Yeah, I blame. Oh, your Danette was suggesting covering the Stephen Stearns trials. Oh no. That is on my list. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely. I said that yesterday. You remember I think it was you that suggested it. Yes, we're definitely covering the Stephen Stearns. This is the only thing. This is the only thing with the Stephen Stearns trial. I just forgot it. It's on my list. Where is it? I'll prove it. Oh no, it's out there in the other room. They're vacuuming right now. But no, Stephen Stearns is on the Matty Soto. I call it the Matty Soto case, but yeah, that's for sure. But this is the only thing. Like, no, it's level. It's because of the angle, or is it level? I know. Oh no, when I was over there, remember when I was doing the videos when I was standing up and it was like my head and then the little video? It just looks that way. It's an optical illusion. Because like look, when I make it on now it's unlevel here, but it looks level there. I don't know. But yeah, it looks awful. So maybe I'll just keep it unlevel here so it looks level on screen. That's probably what I should do. No, the camera is. Thanks, Ben. Now I'm going to be tweaking on this stuff. Well, I'm going to get all that figured out today. Because you're right. Well, usually I'm zoomed in. Usually I'm zoomed in a lot more. So all you see is the thing. Anyways. Thanks, Ben. There's 2 trials. So there's 2 trials for Stephen Stearns. The Matty Soto. Steve Stearns has 2 trials, or did you suggest 2 trials? We could skip the first trial that starts on the 22nd. His second trial starts on August 1st, I believe. So the deal with covering that, sorry, I got sidetracked, is that I would love to cover that. I would love to cover that. And I would love to play some more of his phone calls. And I know I do trigger warnings. Sometimes I get triggered. And this is, I get triggered in a way, just because I have daughters. And so like, I don't have any of that kind of trauma in my life, but I get triggered in a way that it makes me very sad. And I know it makes everybody sad. But I start I picture my daughter in those situations, and it affects me. And I get it. It affects everybody, but I have to do the show. If I don't want to be verklempt all the time or tearing up, crying all the time, when we're covering a trial. And so that's why I'm always hesitant on covering the trials that specifically involved little girls. I have 4 daughters, and I am currently have a 6-year-old daughter that's in my life 24/7. So I can. It's in psychology they call it transference. So I have a transference there. I mean, it's a kind of transference. It's not where I transfer, where I treat you, where I displace my dysfunction of something onto you. I'm not talking about like that kind of transference. Just like this weird thing where I feel my daughter in Maddie's case, not just picture it. or like, oh, that could be my daughter. I would kill someone who did that to my daughter. I absolutely would. But it's just so, I don't know. It's super emotional for me. So that's why I do have a hard time covering the cases specifically with young girls when they're the victims. And so that's the only reason why I hesitate to do it. Oh, really? They separated his murder trial from the R trial. That's crazy. That's crazy. Which one is first, Danette? Because I can cover the murder trial better than I can cover the R trial. Hey, three clerk Monty. I love that, dude. I love that screen name. Full justice for all harmed by the corruption we see in plain sight in Massachusetts. That's right. And I was gonna pound on my table, but it'll shake the camera. But that's how strongly I feel about it. I am right there with you. I am so pissed. I take it personally. The things that are going on in Massachusetts, and I just like, I would start a whole nother channel like Microdots did to like, but I have more of an audience here. So yeah, we're definitely going to be right there screaming at the top of our lungs about the corruption that's going on in Massachusetts. And it's not just with that case. I'm finding as I research it, it's not just with that case. Did we get a... I agree with you totally, Juju Bean. I think she should be right there standing next to him. She sent her daughter into sleep with her boyfriend. And when I say that for exactly what I'm inferring. She sent her in there to do more than sleep. That's right, Three Clerk Monty. Sandra Birchmore, Justin Root, Craig Casey, Enrique Delgado Garcia. The list goes on and on. Oh, okay, Danette. Yeah, cool. So yeah, we'll definitely cover the murder trial. I don't know about the R trial. Yes, Microdots is insane, right? I would love to. Who runs that channel? Like I'm in some other chats and some other channels with Microdots, and I'm always just like, Microdots, you are badass, man. Like Microdots will be in the chat with us, and I'm just like, dude, or girl, whatever. You are amazing, amazing. I haven't seen one Microdot video that I don't think is completely exactly the way it happened. Not one. Yeah, maybe if I just sat up closer to the camera. Not one. Absolutely. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. But so tonight we're gonna have a watch party with the Turtle Boy and Alan Jackson interview. That's going to be amazing. I hope it's live. I know Turtle Boy mostly does live, but he might pre-record that. He might pre-record that and just play it. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be awesome. Yeah, I'm super excited now. I can't wait for tonight. Yeah, it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. I was gonna say the same thing, Robin Bliss. Where you been, Juju Bean? And I was like, man, Juju Bean. I know that person has been on in the chat before. But yeah, it's so cool. I'm so glad you are participating today. Crystal Rogers. I've heard of it from the hillbilly. She's a hillbilly law tube creator. I can't remember. It's supposed to be live. Awesome. Awesome. All right. I'll see you later, Misha. What happened to Jen? Where's Jen? Maybe she texted me. I'm going to have to call Jen. I think they do their best to represent things scientifically and skeptically, but throw in sarcasm. It's major work, clear, concise, and accurate. Yeah, it's so good. Ben knows it's the wrong Alan Jackson. That son of a bee. Oh yeah, the Alessinator. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, maybe I should do a cartoon of Alessi. Put a one in the chat if you want me to do a one of my cool cartoons of Alessi. You know, the ones I do for the judges. I'll do a badass one for him. Yeah. Yeah, these are hand drawn. These aren't like AI or anything. Okay, well I see one and that'll work. There's two. Okay, cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll do that today when I'm hanging out with Hazley. I think she wants to do some drawing anyway, so yeah. Maybe I'll have that for tonight. Well, they usually take me a couple of days, but awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, don't forget to hit the like button. Smash that like button if you can. Smash the don't like if you don't like. Any kind of engagement works for me. I appreciate it. I would always ask people, share the channel, share the videos. But every time I try to share something, it's hard. It's like it's work. I mean, it's not so much work. It's yeah, you can share it. I don't know. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it's not that big of a deal. So share it if you can. Like I can only share things to X, and I just never get engagement on X. Yeah, I did one live stream on X. I should do more live streams on X. I don't know. I see you, Ben. Robin says I'm a pushover. I am a pushover. That is true. Yes. That is not even an insult. That's like I'll take it as a compliment, actually. I know Robin's not insulting me. Yeah, it's like a been wrapped up in crystal, true crime, and crime coverage. Yeah, I want to cover so much more like old cases and things. But that would have to be separate from like my little news show I do. I really want a co-host, someone that I really vibe with when I do the true crime like stories. Well, the stuff that I want to do, I can tolerate a lot of things, but victimizing logos is one of them. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have to look into more of the Crystal Rogers case. The closing arguments are on Monday. So sorry, I don't know more about the Crystal Rogers case. And if it was an amazing case, I'm gonna be really mad at myself. But there's been a lot going on. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wind it down. Sorry, I can't do the straight man bit. Yeah, I know, Ben. I know, not you. Can you send notifications more than 5 minutes before the show? I can try, John. I sent this one last night at midnight. So this notification has been up since, no, actually 11 o'clock last night. I sent it. I really don't like the way you yell at me either in all caps. You know, I can have a bot on here that every time when you do all caps more than 2 times, it automatically puts people in timeout. It's crazy. I'm not going to do it. And I don't care, John, if you write in caps every single message. It doesn't bother me really. Unless you're like telling me to do stuff, then it looks like you're yelling at me. But what happened to Jen Marie? Did she say goodbye, or she was busy, or she was in here earlier? I can text her. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. I will see you guys tonight. Thanks, Ben, for all the all caps. That's fine. Yeah, Nightbot gets nasty on it by default. Yeah, Nightbot. Is that what it's called? Yeah. I know you don't yell at me, John. Okay, guys. I'm floundering right now. Let's do a different outro. Let's do a different outro. Did you get the new intro? I think was pretty cool. Let's just do the new intro again. It's pretty dramatic. So, okay, guys, you guys all be kind to each other, be kind to yourself, and remember to always forgive, and walk in forgiveness. That's what I'm doing. I'm walking in forgiveness. I'm looking for people to forgive. I guess that's all part of like really the 9th step, right? You're not really asking for forgiveness. You're just like just letting people know, like, you know, hey, I'm sorry. You know, will you forgive me? You know, I don't know. But let's all walk in forgiveness, kindness, and love today. I'll see you guys tonight. Bye.
And
Real Fabio?
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I almost had the name. So he's like, yeah, that dude, he didn't testify against somebody on a murder trial.